Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Monaco Multiverse Podcast, second episode. Thank you for joining me again. It's been a year. Look at you. You've grown. You look healthy. You doing okay? You healthy? It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me again. Really appreciate it. I definitely did not intend this to take a year to produce, but sometimes life happens. You gotta roll with it. Definitely plan on being more consistent in the future. I have tons of projects in the works right now, and this next one. The episode 3 is going to be pretty special, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, that's the future. We got to do the now. And the now is episode 2. So I want to start things off by actually doing something I should have done in the first episode, is giving my dad a shout out. Shout out to you, Dad, James Monaco. So sorry. I completely forgot about Matt Mullen. Matt Mullen's character was played by my dad. He did great. You did good, Dad. You did good. Your one line was great. That get set was powerful. I appreciate it. I'm so sorry I did not give you the proper credit last time. Completely forgot Matt Mullen existed. I don't know why he's my own character. But, so I wanted to clear that up. Next, I would like to do a reiteration of this podcast's goals. So yeah, the Monaco Multiverse Podcast goals. I created this podcast as a way to get my spec scripts and pilot episodes out there for companies to hear and for you guys to hear and to spread around everywhere, so maybe one day it could become an actual show. Just a way to get it out there a little bit more unconventionally, in a pretty interesting way, to hopefully get some eyes on it, and maybe one day, obviously, as I've said, make it into an actual show. So we do spec scripts, table reads of spec scripts, film scripts, and pilot episodes. Not necessarily just for my stuff. That's definitely what I want. It's going to be right now, but in the future, hopefully, we can have some audience-made spec scripts, and we produce an episode for you of this podcast. So yeah, starting off, we do a synopsis of each episode. This episode is for The Blacksmith. It is a fantasy adventure series set in a fantasy world, the island of Torio. I was about to give a spoiler, but I can't do that. So here is the synopsis. Annie Rodriguez is about to lose her forge to the Bellian Unification Project. Joining a group of adventurers she's never met, Annie and her best friend Castor take on the 100 Floors Challenge in the center of the city to gain a magical wish to save the shop for good. So that's our synopsis. A little bit about the Blacksmith. It is, as I said, a fantasy adventure series set in the island of Torio in a complete fantasy world. In terms of length, I was thinking probably about 1, maybe 2 seasons as a show. It could be a movie, but I think I definitely want to take my time with it. Make it at the very least a 1-season show, at the most 2. I don't want to push it. Obviously, this challenge they're going to take part in has 100 floors, so that technically has 100 episodes of opportunity. I definitely don't want to do 100 episodes of this show. I feel like that might be stretching a little too much, but definitely can work with less. Definitely can work with more. Obviously, it depends on how well it's written, and I plan on writing it really well. But of course, just like last time, we're not tackling the future of the series, we're tackling the now, so we're tackling the pilot. And again, just like last time, I have a very talented group of actors. Some the same as before, some new ones who sound amazing, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So with that said, sit back, get comfy, relax, and enjoy. Exterior, Bellian Tower, 100th floor, day. Ash and blood stain the pristine marble ground of the 100th floor. Columns of fire explode all around the old Gothic castle ruins. Yarama Karukonāhae, 2,000 years old, appearing in his mid-50s, hovers in the air. His silver hair is messy and unkempt, his red eyes fierce with power, and silver and red dragon wings sprout from his back. He laughs maniacally.
Once I kill you, I will finally snuff out your irritating bloodline and take back what's rightfully mine.
Annie Rodriguez, 18 to 21, weakly stands up. Her red eyes blaze with determination as she grimaces with her soot-covered face. She holds a giant flaming cross-peen smithing hammer in her left hand and a giant flaming ball-peen smithing hammer in her right hand. A golden dragonfolk, a blue blight with silver hair and yellow horns, a half-elf with black hair, and an orc lay unconscious around her.
I won't let you get away with this.
Annie screams as she charges Yarama. Blood-red, sickle-like claws quickly extend from his fingers as he swipes at Annie. She slides on her knees and dodges the swipe as she swings up with both of her hammers. They collide with Yarama's chin, who is knocked back slightly, but a wicked smile still rests on his face. Annie shoots fire from her feet to propel herself into the air. She swings her hammers down at Yarama, who uses a ball of blood to block the strike. She pushes down harder as the ball glows, trying to force her back. The ball goes from red to blinding white as it explodes, sending Annie careening to the edge of the haunted floor. Annie rolls along the ground before being launched off the 100th floor. Annie quickly falls, passing floor by floor as she plummets to the ground. Just as she's about to hit the ground, cut to interior Rodriguez Smithy, Annie's room, day. Annie wakes up with a start and slams her head on the shelf above her bed.
Ow!
Annie rubs her head and leans up in bed. She looks around at her room. Her room is well organized and clean, except for her desk, which is cluttered with trinkets and blueprints. Annie slowly gets out of bed to get ready for the day. Interior Rodriguez Smithy, the kitchen, day. Annie yawns as she walks down the stairs and into the kitchen, wearing a red t-shirt and her dark green blacksmith apron, while tying her black hair into a ponytail. Catalina Rodriguez, 45 to 50, wearing a dark green cooking apron and white dress with frilled sleeves and frilled skirt, stands at the kitchen counter, slightly dancing and humming to herself. Eggs sizzle on the frying pan and the sound of metal clanging rings in the background. Catalina turns with 2 cups of coffee and notices Annie. She slightly jolts, startled.
Oh. Good morning, mi vida.
She kisses Annie's cheek and places the coffee down on the table.
Good morning, Mama. Sounds like Papa's already awake.
Oh, yes. He's been up for quite some time.
Annie walks towards the eggs and reaches for a plate. Catalina smacks her hand.
Mom!
Annie and Catalina laugh.
Not until it's all ready. Besides, you need to wait for your father.
All right, Mama.
Annie leans against the counter. She looks to her right and notices a stack of letters. She picks up the top letter and reads the envelope.
The City of Bellian Unification Project. Ugh, did those guys come back again? Why don't they just leave us alone? We're not selling our shop to them. They can't just keep buying every independent shop in the city.
Catalina sighs.
I know, mija. But as much as your father and I hate the idea of joining them, we might not have much of a choice.
Oh, come on. So we've had less customers recently, but we still make ends meet and still forge better than any of those corporate blacksmiths.
There's too many of them. It isn't a big problem right now, but soon it will be too expensive to run the shop our way.
Annie pauses for a second. She looks at the pictures of her as a young girl, around 8, hugging her father in the forge.
Then let me join the challenge.
Annie.
I'm serious, Mama. If I join the challenge,
Annie.
I know I'll win, and I can get that win.
Annie, Bella!
Annie stops talking.
Please, don't start. You know how we feel about that option. It's too dangerous.
But...
Catalina hands Annie the 2 cups of coffee and kisses her forehead.
Take these to your father in the forge.
She strokes Annie's cheek.
We'll brainstorm other ideas later. All right?
Annie smiles sadly.
Yes, Mama.
Interior Rodriguez Smithy, the forge, day. Annie walks into the forge holding 2 cups of coffee. The forge glows a deep red with black stone walls decorated by weapons and armor. Runes along the ceiling glow blue.
Papa, cafe straight from Mama.
Annie walks up to Antonio Rodriguez, 45 to 50, wearing a soot-covered gray shirt and identical green blacksmith apron. He has a metallic prosthetic right arm that's hammering away at the forge. He stops and looks at Annie.
Ah, good morning, mija.
Annie hands Antonio the coffee. He takes a sip.
Oh, thank you. No one makes it like your mother. Ready to start today?
You know it.
Great. It's going to be a busy day with the challenge tomorrow and all. A lot more orders to fill.
The bell rings.
Speak of the devil. Can you get that, mija? We'll switch when I'm done with the sword.
Sounds good. Box A, right?
Yes. Wait. No. B. A reschedule for tomorrow morning.
All right.
Annie grabs a box full of equipment marked B. The sound of her father's hammer striking metal rings in the background. Annie takes the box to the front counter and places it down.
Order for Ignis Mithrathrir?
That's us.
Ignis Mithrathrir, a human man with short brown hair and blazing red eyes, walks up to the counter alongside Torin Thunderfang, a blue dragonfolk man with bronze-colored horns. Torin grabs the box of equipment while Ignis slides 15 gold pieces across the counter towards Annie.
Thanks, kid. We really appreciate it.
I've never seen you here in Bellian before. Are you here for the challenge?
Yeah, my party and I are here all the way from Aurelia.
And we're gonna be the first team to ever make it to the top.
or at least beat last year's record of 90 floors. Your equipment plus our experience should really do the trick.
That's quite the goal.
Annie turns and looks at her father sticking the sword in water and admiring it. She smiles and turns back to Ignis.
Are you looking for new members?
Unfortunately not, sorry.
Oh, that's too bad.
Maybe next time. Wish us luck, kid. Come this time next week, we're gonna be famous.
Torin begins to walk off.
Thanks again, Miss...
Annie Rodriguez. Thank you for your patronage and welcome to Bellian.
Ignis and Annie shake hands with a smile. Ignis turns and catches up with Torin. Annie pokes her head out of the window. Exterior, Main Street, Rodriguez Smithy storefront, day.
And good luck during the challenge!
Ignis waves back without turning around. Annie looks up at Bellian Tower 40 blocks away before she pops back inside. The tower goes up 90 floors before the last 10 floors split off from the building and float higher and higher into the sky. The 91st floor peeks out just above the rim of the extinct volcano the city of Bellian resides in. People of all different races and species fill Main Street. They pop in and out of shops, restaurants, and cafes lining the cobblestone sidewalk. Street performers play music as people talk and laugh. Horse-drawn carriages pass down the road.
The city of Bellian. What more can I say about it? It's a place where everyone in Toria lives in harmony.
Parties of people laugh as they eat together. A green dragonfolk mother feeds her young child. An elven family smiles as they shop.
Good food, good music, and good company. There's just so much warmth here, and not just because we live in the hollowed-out shell of an extinct volcano.
Exterior, Bellian Tower Plaza, day. People walk all around the plaza in front of Bellian Tower. Teenagers sit along the edge of the central fountain while children and parents play in the small water park to the left. Groups of people are setting up tents.
And at the center of it all, Bellian Tower, home of the 100 Floors Challenge.
A small dragon chases a raven up the tower. They fly to the 90th floor, then begin bobbing and weaving through the remaining floating floors. Interior, Rodriguez Smithy, the Forge, day. Annie hands a customer a box labeled F. Antonio places his hand on Annie's shoulder and talks to the customers. All of them laugh.
The challenge is my favorite time of the year. People from all over the world come visit our city to participate. No one has ever won, not since the Dark-Winged Angel, which was, 500 years ago? But this year...
The customers walk away. Antonio kisses Annie's head and walks deeper into the forge. Annie sticks her head out of the window. Exterior, Main Street, Rodriguez Smithy storefront, day. Annie looks at Bellian Tower.
I'm gonna be the first.
Title sequence. Interior, Rodriguez Smithy, the Forge, dusk. Annie hammers away at the red-hot blade of the sword. She dunks the sword into a bucket of water. Steam rises and metal hisses as it cools. She pulls the blade up to her face with a smile.
Wow. Another perfect blade, I'm guessing.
Castor Lightshade, 18 to 21, stands at the door carrying a box of runes. He wears a maroon t-shirt under a simple silver curious breastplate, an emerald green cloak, and a golden choker with a pietrocite diamond in its center. In the soft glow of the forge, his chalk-white hair looks a slight red, his blue skin almost purple, and his golden horns shine brightly in the light.
Got a fresh rune delivery for you.
Ooh, put it on the table.
Annie places the sword in a box marked M and rushes over to the table against the forge wall as Castor places the box down. Annie digs through the box and pulls out 2 small stone cubes. She smiles.
You got the fire and growth runes? Castor, I could kiss you!
Annie gives Castor a hug. Castor blushes with a shocked expression. She pulls back and punches his arm, then quickly pulls out her cross-peen smithing hammer and places it on top of the anvil. She places the 2 cubes along the handle. The top cube is carved with a bee-like rune Berkana along its faces. The second cube has a left-facing arrow-like rune, Kainaz, carved into its faces.
Just please be careful. This hasn't exactly gone well the last times we've tried this.
I have faith it'll work today.
Annie takes out a riveting hammer and nods to Castor. He begins to whisper and hold out his hand. His eyes and palm glow magenta. The runes glow a sky blue. Annie takes the riveting hammer and lightly taps along one of the runes for each cube. The cubes glow blue and fuse with the handle. The light fades and the sky blue runes steam on the handle. Annie holds up the hammer and smiles. Castor and Annie look at each other silently with anticipation, then slowly back up as Annie holds the hammer down in front of her.
Canines!
The tip of the hammer is set ablaze. Annie and Castor excitedly laugh.
Awesome.
Now the moment of truth. Berkana!
The hammer instantaneously grows to the size of a short sword.
All right!
We did it!
Finally! Now to find an adventuring party.
Wait, what?
The bell rings at the front desk. Annie grabs the box labeled M and takes it to the front. Castor follows.
What do you mean, find a party?
Oh, it's nothing. Just gonna save the shop, you know?
Annie places the box on the counter.
What do you mean?
Order for Adrian Monté?
Annie looks up and sees 3 adventurers. Adrian Monté, 20 to 25, a half-elf with black hair, scruffy beard, and olive skin tone, wearing a brown-collared leather jacket with yellow poet shirt underneath. Black lightning bolt tattoos decorate his forearms, and a cocky look on his face. Marna Auren, 20 to 25, an orc with basil skin, straight black hair, wears a leather curious breastplate and purple leather pants. Scars decorate her arms and face, but a gentle yet firm look adorns it. Rashi Ironfoot, 50 to 60, a golden dragon folk with butterscotch yellow scales, lemon yellow underbelly, and golden horns, wearing full silver plate mail and a royal blue cape, wears the warmest of smiles on his face.
We have one refurbished and upgraded electric sword,
Adrian grabs the sword and admires it.
one refurbished spear and shield,
Marna grabs the items from Annie.
and a beautiful refurbished claymore and shield.
Annie hands them to Rashi.
Thank you kindly, young one.
The party inspects their gear with satisfaction.
Wow. Nice work.
Adrian swings his sword and it crackles with electricity.
Such excellent workmanship. Do you run this shop by yourself?
No, I run the store with my papa. I've never seen you in Bellian before. Are you here for the challenge?
You bet. We're going to be the first team to make it to the top.
I've been hearing that a lot today. Most parties take on the challenge with 5 members. Are you meeting your last 2 companions of the tower?
It's just the 3 of us.
Are you looking for more? Because...
Annie.
Adrian and Marna look at each other. Rashi smiles, and Castor moves closer to Annie and whispers in her ear.
You can't just ask every adventuring party if they'll let you join. Staff can't even participate anyways.
Why not? Eventually it'll stick, and I can just have Papa fire me, if he'll agree.
He doesn't know?
Annie turns to Adrian.
I would make a great addition to any team. I'm a top-notch blacksmith, and while I'm not as experienced with combat, I more than make up for it with between-floor repairs. And Castor over here is an aspiring and powerful mage who excels at runic magic.
Marna and Adrian awkwardly look at each other.
Sorry, kid. We'll be alright.
Not to be rude, but if you lack in combat experience, we can't really bring you along. The higher floors get really tough. We can't have you holding us back.
It wouldn't be safe for any of us.
But...
Rashi looks to his friends.
The higher floors might be difficult, but I'm sure they could learn a lot from us on the earlier floors that would help them be more than prepared.
Thank you.
Adrian shakes his head.
I'm sorry, Rashi, but it's too risky.
Rashi frowns. Adrian looks to Annie and Castor.
Sorry. You're an excellent blacksmith, and I'm sure your friend is a great mage. But our answer is no.
Tears well in Annie's eyes. Castor places his hand on her shoulder.
No, you're right. Good luck during the challenge.
The party walks away, but Rashi turns back.
I'm sorry, young one. Keep at it. I'm sure your dreams will come true one day.
Annie sadly smiles at him. Rashi walks away, and Annie goes and sits down in the chair towards the back of the forge. Castor sits next to her.
I'm sorry, Annie. Maybe we can get training and try to find another group next year.
I doubt the shop will be here another year.
Wait, what? What do you mean it won't be here another year?
Annie gets up and starts walking towards the door to the house.
You're more than welcome to stay for dinner. I'm sure my parents would love to see you.
Annie, wait.
Crash! Annie and Castor look towards the sound and run to the counter for a better look. Exterior, Main Street, Oakenheart Ruins, and Apothecary. Glass lies shattered on the street as 6 masked bandits break in the front display window and start grabbing display runes. One opens the front door to the store and tries to go in.
Mr. Oakenheart!
Castor jumps through the front counter of the Rodriguez Smithy and gets the bandits' attention by casting a fireball at them.
Hey!
Castor, wait!
Annie jumps over the counter as well.
Perkana! Kanas!
She stands next to Castor ready to fight. Castor's eyes blaze with rage. The gem on his choker glows bright.
Get away from my home!
The bandits pull out swords and knives and make their attack. 3 of the bandits attack Castor while the other 3 attack Annie. Annie swings her hammer, but it's blocked by the bandit sword. Another bandit stabs at Annie, but she blocks it with her ball-peen hammer. She hops backwards, causing one bandit attacking her to stumble forward. The second bandit swings at her, but she ducks and hits the bandit across the face, knocking him out. The third bandit swings down, but she knocks the sword from his hand and then swings down on his head, He crumples to the ground.
I did it! I took 2 down! Looks like I have combat experience now.
Castor blocks and dodges each strike with blasts of wind with striking efficiency. His eyes are soulless with an angry expression. He casts a column of wind at one bandit, sending him careening into a nearby wall. Castor grabs 2 oncoming strikes with electrified wind, shocking the bandits. 3 more bandits run from nearby buildings. They both attack Annie. Annie tries to dodge and block it as best as she can, but the bandits get some solid cuts on her arms. She grunts in pain with each cut. One of the bandits kicks her to the ground.
Annie!
Castor rushes towards her but is tackled to the ground from behind.
Pitiful mage.
A bandit raises his sword and swings down on Annie, but the sword is blocked by Rashi's shield.
It's you guys!
We came as soon as we heard the crash.
Do not worry. The heroes have arrived.
Adrian and Marna jump and kick off of Rashi's shoulders and launch into the bigger group. Adrian and Marna trade turns, blocking and attacking the bandits. Castor uses the distraction to cast a powerful blast of wind, launching the bandit on top of him into a wall, knocking him out. Castor helps Annie up. Adrian and Marna celebrate as all the bandits lay around them. While their backs are turned, one of the bandits stands up and swings his sword at Adrian.
Adrian, look out!
K-Nice!
Annie shoots a fireball from her hammer that blasts the bandit in the face. Dazed, he stumbles and then falls back onto the ground.
Hey, thanks, kid.
Annie smiles at Adrian while Castor runs into Oakenheart's shop. Annie follows after him.
Maybe we should reconsider.
Adrian and Marna shake their heads with a smile, then look at Annie and Castor who are helping Andvari Oakenheart, an elderly dwarf, out of his shop.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Antonio and Catalina run out of the Rodriguez smithy, weapons drawn.
Annie, Castor, are you both alright?
Catalina takes Andvari from Annie and helps Castor lead him inside. Antonio looks at the bandits lying all around. He looks to Rashi.
Thank you 3 for protecting my daughter and her friend.
You're welcome.
Marna and Rashi elbow Adrian.
Actually, sir, those 2 helped considerably. We just picked up at the end.
They did?
Yes, sir, and it is because of this that we're considering letting them both join our team for the challenge at her request.
Antonio faces Annie with a bewildered look. Annie waves awkwardly. Interior, Rodriguez smithy, the kitchen. Annie and Castor sit across from Catalina while Antonio paces around the kitchen. Rashi, Adrian, and Marna sit in the other room with Andvari.
When were you gonna tell me you were trying to join the challenge?
Tonight. Mama said we should bring some ideas to save the shop, and I think the wish is our best bet.
I said other options, mija.
Adios, mija. The wish? That wish is a curse, nothing more than a flame to every greedy moth in this world. It is too dangerous, mija.
But...
No.
Papa, I can...
Annabella, I said no.
Why can't I try?
Antonio takes off his prosthetic arm and slams it onto the table.
Because I refuse to lose my daughter to that wish like I lost my arm.
The house goes silent. Rashi and Marna wear awkward faces while Adrian sips his coffee. He turns to Rashi.
Rashi, this coffee is amazing. You gotta get the recipe for the road.
Antonio plops into the chair and rubs his head with a sigh. Catalina rubs his shoulder.
I went after the wish a few years before you were born. In my greed, I lost my arm, and I barely made it out alive. I don't want the same fate for you, or worse.
Annie is silent for a second. She looks at Castor before speaking, and Castor nods to her.
Papa, I won't be going alone. I'm playing support, so I won't even be in harm's way, and I'll be training a ton in the early floors to help protect myself.
And I'll be watching her back, sir.
Annie smiles at Castor and mouths, thank you.
Mi amor, she's an adult now, and a stubborn one at that.
The family chuckles.
We have to believe in her skills. I don't like this option as much, but if this is the only chance we have to save the place she grew up in, then maybe we should take it. Besides, you saw what she was capable of outside.
Antonio looks around at all the pictures hanging around the house. He glances at the pictures of him and Annie at the age of 8 in the forge. He then focuses on Annie and Castor in front of him. A warm, yet pained smile crosses his face.
You have to promise me to play it safe, and if it gets too risky, you need to back out.
I promise.
Then?
Everyone looks at Antonio with anticipation. Rashi, Adrian, and Marna peek their heads around the corner.
You can go.
Everybody cheers. Annie runs and gives him a big hug.
Thank you, Papa.
First things first, Mia. You're fired.
Annie and Antonio smile with tears in their eyes. He rubs his tears away and puts his arm back on.
Now let's make you some good gear. Because I won't be caught dead letting my daughter take on a challenge unprepared.
Antonio leads Annie to the forge. Rashi, Adrian, and Marna go to follow.
Where are you all going?
Thank you for the coffee, madam, but we're going to find a tavern for the night.
Oh, no, you don't. After everything you've done, your family. We have extra rooms for you to stay in tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
You're too kind.
Catalina ushers the three back towards the living room, but returns to Castor.
Take care of each other, okay?
We will.
Catalina kisses Castor's cheek. Metal clanging rings from the forge, drawing Castor and Catalina's attention.
You might want to prepare an anti-drowsiness spell for those two. I have a feeling they'll be up all night.
You might be right. I'm on it, Miss Rodriguez.
Catalina walks back to Rashi, Marna, and Adrian, ushering them to their rooms while helping Mr. Oakenheart to his. Castor walks into the forge. The pictures of Annie and Antonio in the forge shines in the evening light. Interior Rodriguez Smithy, the forge, day. Montage begins. Annie puts on her new silver breastplate. Protection runes are carved into the lining. Castor whips on his cloak. Annie ties her blacksmith apron. Rashi shines his teeth. Rashi packs his cooking utensils in his backpack. Adrian combs his hair and smiles in the mirror. Marna shines her spearhead. Castor touches the gem on his collar with a pained expression. Annie ties up her ponytail with a determined smile. Montage end. Exterior, Main Street, Rodriguez Smithy storefront, day. Annie gives her parents a huge hug and starts running to join the group.
Please be safe!
Annie catches up with the group as they walk towards the tower. Interior, Bellian Tower announcer booth, day. Two announcers sit at the booth with a stand with a glowing iridescent orb attached to the end of it. Pelagola price, 25 to 30, a troll with green eyes, gray skin, and white hair, sits to the left, while Rhaynee Crocoman, 25 to 30, a green crocodile-like dragonfolk, sits to the right.
Good morning, Island Notorio. Welcome to the special broadcast of the 100 Floors Challenge. I'm your host, Pele Goldprice, alongside my co-host of this year's challenge, Rhaynee Crocoman. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine today, Pele, thank you. I'm just so stoked for this year's challenge.
I think we all are, Rhaynee. This year's challenge is supposed to be a big one. It's the 500-year anniversary of the last time someone beat the challenge.
Exterior, Bellian Tower Plaza, day. Bellian Tower Plaza is filled with different colored tents and stands filled with food and items for sale. People flood the plaza between the tents, buying items and food, talking with each other, and laughing.
That's right, and to celebrate this momentous occasion, vendors from around the world have shown up here in Bellian to party.
Annie and the rest of the group walk through the plaza. Annie and Rashi get distracted by a food stand. Grilled meats hang from a rack as steam curls off of them. Annie's mouth waters.
Authentic food from far-off islands. Be sure to try it all.
Rashi gives a few gold coins to the vendor. The vendor hands Rashi 5 turkey legs. He hands one to Annie, who smiles. She takes a bite, and her eyes widen with joy. She turns to Castor and motions for him to try it. Castor grins softly as Rashi hands him a leg.
Magic, equipment, and trinkets from all over to boost your chances in the challenge.
Ignis and Torin shop at one of the stands for magic bags. Ignis picks up a tan one, but Torin shakes his head. He then picks up a gem-studded bag, and Ignis gives him a blank look.
Now, Rhaynee, how about you tell our newer friends at home what this challenge holds?
Interior, Bellian Tower, announcer booth, day.
With pleasure, Pele.
Rhaynee taps on a magic mirror in front of him. Blueprints of the tower appears.
The 100 Floors Challenge is a free-for-all challenge encompassing, 100 floors.
The tower breaks apart into 10 even segments.
The challenge is broken up into sets of 10. Each set of 10 floors follows a theme. The theme is always a mystery, and there is a bonus prize for any audience member who figures it out.
A red dot lights up at the bottom of the tower. The red dot makes a path through the floors till it gets to the 99th floor, trailed by a red line.
It's a race to the 99th floor, challengers. The last 2 teams will face off to decide a final team to take on the 100th floor. If you make it that far, the team who wins will receive the grand prize, a wishing star.
2 shadow figures fight till one vanishes. A golden star shines at the top of the tower.
But be careful, challengers. There are many dangers in this tower.
The tower falls away and the blue background becomes purple. Silhouettes of varying monsters stand in a line. Among the shapes are large dragons, wolves, large boars, large spiders, tarasques, and sea creatures.
Not only should you watch out for those terrifying monsters, but you should also be wary of your fellow challengers.
Interior Bellian Tower announcer booth day. Rhaynee and Pela look at each other in the booth.
And that.
Interior Bellian Tower lobby day.
Is pretty much how the challenge works.
The group stands in a check-in line with other adventurers of many different races. The walls and floors are pristine white with red magic energy pipes lining the floors and walls like veins. Annie jots down notes in her notebook.
So there isn't a time limit to complete floors?
No. It's a race. But you can take your time if necessary.
So that's why these things normally take a month.
Exactly.
Annie tucks her notebook into her apron. The group moves forward in line.
Well, I'm super excited. I can't wait to get to the top.
Rashi pats Annie's back.
I'm also quite excited, young Annie.
Next.
The group moves forward. The receptionist wears a tired expression.
Group name?
The Emerald Clan.
The receptionist rolls her eyes.
Come on, you like it. I know you do.
Not the worst I've heard today. Did you sign the waivers?
Us three have, but our newest members have not.
Rashi hands 3 waivers to the receptionist. She sighs as she goes through her drawers. She leans back up and hands a waiver to Castor and Annie.
What is this waiver for?
If you die, you can't sue us.
Oh.
Hurry up so I can register your vitals. I don't have all day.
Castor hesitates but sees Annie already signing. He signs as well, and they hand in their waivers. The receptionist stamps the papers. Without looking up, she points a thermometer at Annie and Castor. A light on the device turns green. She then points to 2 metal detector-like devices without a glance.
Pass through the gates. We don't need you smuggling in contraband or whatever.
Rashi, Marna, and Adrian pass through the gates no problem. Then, Annie goes through to the right gate while Castor goes through the left. As soon as they pass through, red lights flash and alarms blare. Annie and Castor freeze, and the rest of the Emerald Clan jump into fight poses. The receptionist checks her mirror screen, rolls her eyes, and picks up a bullhorn.
Can we get security down here? We have 2 staffers trying to enter the challenge.
What? Did you, Dad, and Mr. Oakenheart not fire us in time?
Knights in armor rush towards the Emerald Clan from all corners, weapons drawn. Annie glances at her teammates, then at an open corridor.
Run!
Annie and Castor book it to the leftmost corridor, followed by the rest of the group. The knights in front of the group try to grab them as they run past, but Annie slides underneath the legs of one knight and uses her hammer to propel herself with fire. Castor flies above them with a gust of wind. Adrian and Marna juke around the knights while Rashi barrels through them, knocking them down.
Sorry!
What's your plan?
Find the entrance to the challenge, get in, and don't get caught.
That's it? I knew we shouldn't have let you guys join.
Interior Bellian Tower hallway day. Yarama Karukonāhae, wearing a red and silver suit, saunters through the hallway, a blank expression resting on his face. His hair is silver and well kept. Next to him walks his secretary, Lucy Stokes, 30 to 35. She walks quickly, struggling to keep up with his fast and deliberate pace. Her blonde hair is tied in a ponytail. Her blood-red eyes, fierce but tired, are framed with black glasses. She wears a red blouse top and silver pencil skirt. In her hand, she holds a mirror tablet and a clipboard filled with papers.
Sir, attendance is up by 25% compared to last year. Will that be enough?
It should be more than plenty, Lucy. Relax, the games will be fine this year. Did you get everyone's blood type?
Yes, sir. Everyone's blood type has been documented.
Ding! Lucy looks at the tablet. Her eyes widen and she stops moving. Yarama keeps walking before noticing she stopped. Lucy slowly looks up at Yarama.
Sir, one of them is in the challenge.
Yarama quickly goes to Lucy's side and checks the tablet. His eyes widen as well.
It's been 20 years since one of them showed their face here. We can't fall again. Come, let's go meet our hero.
Yarama and Lucy continue down the hallway when the Emerald Clan races around the corner. Annie is looking backwards towards the pursuing guards when she slams into Yarama. Lucy drops her clipboard and papers fly everywhere. Yarama doesn't flinch and catches Annie in his arms. Castor, Rashi, Marna, and Adrian stop in their tracks. Annie looks up at Yarama and pulls back.
I'm so sorry to the both of you. Here, let me help you.
Annie helps Lucy pick up her papers.
How dare you? How dare you bump into our CEO?
Lucy notices some soot on Yarama's suit.
You've tainted our perfect CEO with your mortal filth.
Annie steps back, astonished. The guards move forward.
Look, lady, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but it was an accident.
I don't care. Guards, arrest them.
Yarama raises his hands for the guards to halt.
No, wait.
He stares into Annie's eyes.
You seem familiar, miss. Have we met?
No, sir. Unless you've come to the Rodriguez smithy when I was little.
No, that's not it.
Yarama stares deeper. A slight glint of gold crosses Annie's irises. Yarama's eyes widen slightly. His lips curl with the slightest hint of a smile.
The Rodriguez smithy? Ah, yes. That must be it. Your father didn't fire you in time, did he?
No, sir.
Yarama smiles softly.
That's all right, Miss Rodriguez. We'll allow your team to join this once.
Really?
But, sir...
It's fine, Lucy. Show our heroes to the waiting area.
Lucy sighs.
Yes, sir. Follow me.
Lucy leads the group further down the corridor while Yarama continues on his way accompanied by 2 guards.
Good luck to you all.
The group gets closer to Annie and whispers.
Did you know that man?
I've never seen him before in my life, but he seems familiar.
He isn't a family member, is he?
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter now. Maybe it was just luck.
You better keep bringing us luck like that, Annie.
Adrian puts his arm around Annie's shoulders. Castor gives him side-eye, but it isn't noticed.
I knew it was a good idea to let you join.
Marna smacks Adrian's head. He rubs it and nudges Marna back.
We're here.
Everyone stops in front of big metal doors. Interior, Bellian Tower, waiting room, day. The doors open and the Emerald clan walks through.
Thank you, miss.
Lucy rolls her eyes, scoffs, and walks off as the door closes. The Emerald clan walk deeper into a large room. Adventuring parties sit on cushioned benches or lean against the marble walls.
Oh yeah, we're going to beat all these whims.
Adrian looks up at a giant, a hulking man of pure muscle, covered in battle scars. The giant glares at Adrian.
I would suggest not making enemies just yet.
In fact, it's best if you shut up until we win.
Adrian nudges Marna's arm with a smile. Annie sits down on a cushioned bench. Castor sits right beside her. She takes a deep breath.
Penny, for your thoughts?
So much. I'm excited, nervous, confident, terrified.
A lot is at stake, so that's understandable.
Yeah, I have to save the shop.
A soft smile crosses Castor's lips. He puts his hand on Annie's shoulder.
You will. And I'll do everything I can to help you.
Annie smiles at him and lays her head on his shoulder.
Thank you, Castor. I'm glad you're here. Ready for our first big adventure?
Castor chuckles.
No, but I'm ecstatic that we can go on it together.
Intercom speakers screech. Annie sits up.
Attention, adventurers. Welcome to this year's 100 Floors Challenge. This is a chance to test your skills, your mettle, and your friendships.
The Emerald clan look at each other with determined grins.
We have some promising young heroes in this year's challenge, so keep an eye out.
Interior, Bellian Tower, control room, day. Yarama stands at the balcony of a control room wearing an earpiece and holding a tablet. The circular room is lined with screens and pale workers manning different stations. A leaderboard shows the challengers on one screen. A live feed is shown on the large middle screen.
This challenge will break you. It's up to you to build yourself back up. Become the hero you were always meant to be.
Yarama looks down at the tablet in his hands. On the screen shows a detailed file on Annie. It lists her birthday, age, eye color, height, weight, and blood type as well as vitals.
Do you have what it takes?
Interior, Bellian Tower, waiting room, day. Annie's face is determined and confident.
I do.
Interior, Bellian Tower, control room, day.
Good luck.
Interior, Bellian Tower, waiting room, day.
Challenge starting in 3.
All of the adventurers jump to attention. A red light flashes.
2.
A second red light flashes. Annie takes out her hammer.
Berkana.
The hammer grows and she gets into a ready stance. She glances at Castor. He gives her a reassuring grin.
Stay close to me. It's going to be a stampede getting out.
Yeah, try to keep up.
1. Clear.
A green light flashes and a siren blares. The farthest wall from the door falls away. The force of the door shakes the tower and blows some adventurers back. Dust is kicked up. The Emerald clan covers their eyes. As the dust settles, Annie uncovers her eyes and gets a glimpse of the next room. She sees a blue sky, fluffy white clouds, mountains, and trees. Her eyes widen. Interior Bellian Tower control room day. Yarama's lips curl with the slightest hint of a smile.
Let the game begin.
Cut to end credits. So, what'd you think? Was it good? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? I know I did. I had a great time this whole time. Hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for listening again to the second episode of the Monaco Multiverse Podcast. Couldn't do it without you. I hope you enjoyed it. So just like last time, like, share, subscribe, add to your playlist. Just get it out there. I appreciate any amount of engagement that's made. I honestly really do appreciate it. It means the world to me, more than you guys could ever know. So yeah, let's get these actors their credit. I promise not to forget anybody. Sorry, Dad. Again, did great. So, our lead was played by the lovely Sophy Vu. You can find her on Instagram at Sophy.Fergie, Sophy .Fergi. Go give her some love. She definitely deserves it. She blew this out of the park. And honestly, she deserves every bit of love you guys send her. So please send her some love. Send everybody love, but send Sophy some love too. Yarama was played by Mr. Ted Acklen at TheOtha 4th on Insta. Thank you, Mr. Ted. I really appreciate you doing this. Catalina Rodriguez was played by Mia Schuller at psi.yo. Thank you, Mia. You did amazing, as always. Antonio was played by BJ Obiofuma at OBIO452. Thank you, Uncle BJ. Appreciate you. Ignis was played by Donovan Skinner at Donovan.Skinner7. Go check him out. He's got some funny memes. Torin Thunderfang was played by Bill Lowry at linktree/the.oddfox. I can never seem to pronounce it. Thank you again, Bill. Castor Lightshade was played by the ever-talented Kourage Cooper at Courageous01. It's Courageous with a K. Courage was always in mind for me for Castor, so to get him to play Castor in this was a dream come true for me. He definitely knocked it out of the park better than I could ever expect. And hopefully, when the Blacksmith gets made into a real show, you'll hear Mr. Courage Cooper as Castor there as well. So yeah, definitely check him out. And if you guys are looking for a voice actor, there's a good one right there. Adrian Monté was played by John Williams. He did absolutely amazing, honestly. It was a lot of what Adrian is right now, you can thank John for. He put his own twist and it was amazing. You can find Mr. John Williams, not the composer, but the actor, John Williams, at rag_time. That's RAG_THYNE, like the herb, spice, can't remember. Marna, Auren, and Pelagola Price were played by the lovely and talented Rhaynee Marlow. You can find her at WA on Instagram. That's WA, 4 H's, 2 A's, and then 4 H's again. So send her some love. Tell her I said hi. Rashi Ironfoot was played by Matthew Tinker at Matthew Tink on Instagram. Again, did an amazing job. A lot of what you hear a lot of what Rashi is now is thanks to Matthew as well. And Lucy Stokes, played by the super talented Jordan Curry. You can find her at Jordan C1902. Oh, excuse me. That's JORDYNC1902. That is everybody. I double, triple, quadruple checked. Went through my character list. That is everybody. Everybody. Those are all my actors. So I just want to say thank you to every single one of the cast. I mean, honestly, you guys knocked it out of the park. You killed it, man. Honestly, better than I could have ever hoped. I really appreciate everybody who auditioned. I really appreciate everybody who got cast and who got part of the cast. I really appreciate everything you guys have done. Honestly, you guys make this stuff happen. And I appreciate it. I love you guys. And thank you at home. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys make this worth it. So, again, like, comment, subscribe, add to playlist, whatever you got to do on whatever platform you're on. Just share it around, just get it out there. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys for the next episode. So have a good day and bye. So let's go ahead and start getting these actors their credit. Gotta make sure I get everybody. Sorry, Dad. I promise I'll get everybody this time. I quadruple dog checks, So let's begin. Our lovely lead, Annie Rodriguez, was played by the equally as lovely Sophy Vu at Sophy Fergie on Instagram. SOPHY.FERGI. You go send her some love. She did an absolutely amazing job. I mean, absolutely amazing. She knocked out of the park, and she deserves all the love you guys sent her way, and then some. Yarama was played by the awesome Mr. Ted Acklen. Thank you, Mr. Ted. I appreciate you doing this. You can find him at THEOTHA 4th on Instagram. Send him some love. Catalina Rodriguez was played by Mia Schuller at psi.yo. Send her some love as well. Thank you, Mia. Antonio was played by BJ Obiofuma at OBIO452. Thank you, Uncle BJ. Last minute, you killed it. I appreciate you. Ignis Mithrathrir was played by Donovan Skinner at donovan.skinner7. Go check him out. He's got some funny memes. Torin Thunderfang was played by Bill Lowry at linktree/the.oddfox. I got it right this time. Got it wrong in the first episode. I stumbled a little bit. That's okay. Go send Bill some love. He did an awesome job as Torin, and I really appreciate it. Got a returning cast member like Bill. We got Kourage Cooper as Castor Lightshade. The amazingly talented Kourage Cooper is definitely a voice actor you'll want on your production. So if you are looking for a good voice actor, well, do I have the guy for you? At Courageous01, that's Courageous with a K. Go check him out. I mean, honestly, dude does amazing. When I created Castor in what he is now, Courage was always who I wanted. And when the Blacksmith gets made into an actual show, Courage is who I want as Castor. So, I mean, hopefully you'll get to hear more of him in the future. And if you use him in your production, you get to hear more from him in the future. That's amazing how that works. So yeah, definitely go give him some love. Adrian Monté was played by John Williams at rag_time, but like the herb, THYME. So that's RAG_THYME. A lot of what Adrian is now is honestly owed up to John. I'm very big into actor interpretation of characters, and John brought him to life in a way I did not expect, and has honestly stole the show. And I really appreciate it. And he's a very talented dude, so go check him out. Marna, Auren, and Pela Golda-Price were played by the amazing Rhaynee Marlow. At WA on Instagram, that's WA, 4 H's, 2 A's, and then 4 H's again. Go give her some love. Check her out. I mean, she did absolutely amazing. And hopefully we'll get to hear more of her in the future as well. As now that I know she can, I'm going to force her to do these. Kidding. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to. Rashi Ironfoot was played by Matthew Tinker at Matthew Tink. That's MATTHEWTINK. Go check him out. I really appreciate Matthew for doing this. He did great as Rashi. He did an absolutely amazing job. Rhaynee Crocoman was played by just some guy off the side of the road. Just some guy. Oh wait, no, I have it written here. Oh, he's played by me. Rhaynee Crocoman was played by me. That's news to me. Rhaynee Crocoman, he's a crocodile man, played by me. You can find me in two places, at red.monaco, or here on the Monaco Multiverse. That's where you can find me. Who knew? The receptionist, Arata Elite, was played by the amazing Nicole Bienvenue at Catastrophic B on Instagram. That's KAITASTROPHICB. This was the lovely cast of the Blacksmith. Everybody absolutely killed that. Guys, you heard what I heard, right? They absolutely killed it. I'm so appreciative of all of them and to all of you for all of this. I mean, it's amazing. I honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I really appreciate everybody, all of you, actors, viewers, all of you. I mean, it's a dream come true, truly. So yeah, check everybody out. I will link all of them in the description as well, and go check them out. Give them some love. I mean, they all deserve it. They absolutely killed it. They deserve it. They deserve all the love you guys send. So please send them so much love. Because there's only so much I can send, and I've sent a lot. So send the rest for me. I hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, share, whatever you gotta do on whatever platform you're on. Get it out there. We're trying to make this a real show, you guys. So we gotta do our part. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good night.